Hi everyone, this is Deb. All right, we are on day 6 of our 12 days of Christmas. So after this video, we will be halfway through. So we are going to go ahead and start. We have 3 projects. So I'm going to start with our 3D item. And I want to tell you, I got this when I went to a convention with Rhonda Wade. So I want to give her credit for the design of this project. I changed it ever so slightly with just a different portion of the designer series paper. She created a very nice tag. But this is one of the clear cases, and I think you can still buy these from Stampin' Up. So it's just a stamp case, and we're going to use it to store tags. So I'm just going to show you how to decorate the outside of it, and that's what we're going to do. So it's just a super fun project, but you could make these and then give them as gifts. Fill them with a bunch of homemade tags. People would love that. So what you need is obviously one of the cases that you can get, and then we are going to take a piece of basic white cardstock that is 5.5 by 7. This is just a strip of real red, and it's cut at 1/4 inch by 7. So what we're going to do is we're just going to line this right here on our piece of cardstock. And that's where we're going to start. So we're just going to decorate this piece of white, and then we are going to put it inside the case. So this is not by any means a difficult project, but I think somebody would truly love it. And if you think about it, you could do it with Christmas, and this would be fun too. You could do one side Christmas, and then if you wanted, you could do the other side, because it opens on both ends, as all occasion tags. So just kind of a fun little thing to do. Then you're going to take a piece of designer series papers that is 3 inches by 7 inches, and we're just going to adhere it right here, slightly over top of the piece of real red. And look at those cute little deer. We could do it that way too, but we'll do this. All right. So let's put it right there. Hope you guys are all doing well. Nice and kind of a little bit of a dreary day today, but I love it. Now we're going to just take a white circle that's 2 3/8, and we're just going to put that in the middle, and then I'm going to decorate around it. So just put that right there. And then I cut out, using the dies from the reindeer set, some of the leaves and the little dots, and we're just going to put that on right here and pop it right down in the middle. And then I'm just going to put this kind of off to the side a little bit, like that. All right, so we're going to adhere it down. Now I'm not putting anything up on dimensionals, just because that would make it puff up, and we don't want that inside the container, because that wouldn't be any good. And then I cut out these deer out of the designer series paper using this die that comes with the set. So, and I am just going to put it right here, and that will be that. So let me just add a little adhesive. Again, this is just a simple, and you guys could see, you could start cutting these, the paper, and then, do your die cutting one night. And then as far as just assembling it, it would be pretty straightforward. So I said this piece was 7 inches. So it's going to go over the, I believe it's going to go over that corner just a bit, and that will keep it in place from falling out. So I'm just going to slide it right inside the outside. And now let me just make sure it's even. And now when I close it, ta-da, look at that. I mean, so simple. It is so simple. And then you could fill that up with your, with all kinds of tags inside. We're going to do tags. It's either next week or the week after. I can't remember, but one of them, I actually do have it set aside to do tags. And I'm trying to look here. I was going to show you guys that die set, but that's okay. There's a whole die set filled with tags, and we're going to spend 3 days doing lots of different, we'll do cards, but it's going to focus a lot on just different tag layouts and open tags, fun, you know, fun little tags. All right, so that is that project. So that's our 3D, a nice little box to hold tags. You could also make it to hold note cards and, you know, the envelopes, the small ones. That also fits nicely in here. All right. Well, that's done now. There we go. Okay, so we're going to move on to our second project, which is, of course, our template card. And the one we're going to do today is this one here. So this is number 6. I'll just label it. So we're going to do that one right there. It's like 3 strips of paper and then a center. So let's go ahead and I will give you the measurements. So we're going to start with a piece of soft seafoam that's 11 by 4 1/4. And we're scoring that, of course, in the middle at 5 1/2. I shouldn't say of course, because if you're a new card maker, you might not know that. I know I certainly didn't. I think my head was spinning when I first started making cards versus scrapbooking, because I just had to cut pictures and paper to fit the pictures. It was pretty easy. Now we're going to take 3 strips, and these are all 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I just took 3 that I liked, three strips. So I got the reindeer, that's kind of a more of a, not as big of a pattern, and then the presents. So I'm just going to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this on the left-hand side and give it a margin that I like. Then I'm going to do the right one so that it matches. And then I'll put the middle one to line up. So always do your ends first and then move your way in the middle. And before you glue anything, I always encourage you to, actually I'm going to do this one first. I always encourage you to make sure that you lay everything out first before you ever glue down, because sometimes, at least I know I have forgotten, when I don't lay things out and then I don't know what it's even supposed to maybe look like, I just start gluing. And then invariably, I always kind of mess up. Now I'm going to turn this sideways just because it's a little easier for me to line up kind of the sides. And then I'll turn it this way and make sure it looks even, which this does. And then we're going to do the middle piece here. Okay. Again, I'm going to kind of turn it sideways and line it up that way. But you know, of all the cards we've been making, we might have these little strips left. So this is a perfect layout because you can take just whatever strips you have and put it on this particular card. Now I have a piece of real red, and I used the embossing folder. Now this is the embossing folder. Can you guys see how big it is? They have made these, I don't know, 8 by something, I think. Well, here, I'll tell you. I can look at my little glass sheet. It is 8.5 by, it's 8.5 by, 8.5 by 6. Hello. So it's 6 by 8. Which is great because you can use it for scrapbooking as well as card making. And I think that's why they did it, made them a lot larger. But I ran this piece of real red, if you can see the texture. So it's just a pattern, line pattern on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right in the center of our card. And then we're going to take this piece of basic white and we're going to put it right here, but I need to stamp a sentiment first. So actually, before I glue this down, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, and then I need to find, there it is. All right, so let me grab the sentiment, and I think I am doing Christmas is Better Together. That's the one we'll use. So we'll grab a block, and we're going to put this in real red. Yeah, we'll just do it in red. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and ink this up, and I'm going to put it toward the top here. There we go. I'm looking. Is that straight? Yep, that is straight. Okay. You guys can tell me if it's off there. Okay, I'm going to clean this stamp, and then we are going to finish decorating our little card front here. So do you remember when I stamped? I'm going to show you. So I stamped this deer, and it was all crooked. So we're going to use the other side of it, and we're just going to put it right here. And that is going to be so adorable. And then we're going to put a piece of the red and white twine that comes in this set. So first, let me go ahead, and I'm just going to adhere this right to the center of this piece of real red that we embossed. And we're just going to add our glue here and put it right in the middle. I found when you do this, and this piece, by the way, I don't think I gave you the measurements, is 2 inches by 3 3/4. So this is 3 3/4, this is 3 3/4, but this is 3 inches, this is 2 inches, the piece of white. And then we're going to take our little reindeer, and we're going to pop him up on some dimensionals. Oop, help. Okay, that's hilarious. I got the glue dot, but not the, I'm sorry, I got the top of the dimensional, but not the rest of it. So we're going to put 3 on here just to give it some good coverage. All right. And then we're just going to kind of put that right in the center of our card. And now we're going to just adhere this directly on our piece of the card base that we have there. All right. So I thought I liked the Snowy Wonder set. I have really enjoyed using this one. It has so many options. It's kind of one of those where I'm like, wow, we could make so many more cards and just different types. So I had some set aside, and I just didn't have a chance to get them all together. So I need to do that. So maybe next week when we start out, we might start out with just showing you, or I might come on another time and show you some of the other cards that I've made, or I'm sorry, that I received in a swap from this particular stamp set, just to give you some more kind of ideas. So I am just gonna make a very small little bow, and we're just gonna put that right around our deer. I kind of wasted a little bit of ribbon there, so just gonna see if I can do that again. Give it some smaller tails. Not that it was that big of a to-do. There we go. All right, we'll cut that off. Set that off to the side there. I was going to use this little green bow that I made, but out of the dies, but it seemed a little dark, and then this might be a little better. So, and I don't know that we're going to get a chance to use this string. So I thought, well, man, we gotta get it in there at some point, don't we? All right, here we go. Okay, we're gonna put that right over here. There we go. And there you have it, guys. That is our card from our template. So let me just show you again which one it was. So it was this template right here. So it's just some strips of paper and then the white piece on top. And we just did a couple layers to get that piece on the top. But that's it. That's all it is. Simple card. So there is our second project. So now we're going to go on to number 3. And this is our fun fold. And I almost, because this one takes a few more pieces, I was almost half tempted to say, well, maybe this should only be like our card that we're going to do. But I thought, no, we'll just, it's not too bad. So I'm going to give you the pieces, and then, and I have a couple other extra pieces just because I wasn't quite sure what I would be using and what I won't be using. So we have a few pieces to decorate with, and we'll just see what we decide to go with. All right. So this is a super fun fold. I think I came up with it, but we'll see. You guys tell me. You guys tell me if you've ever seen it before. All right, so we're using shaded spruce first of all, and then we're using the designer series paper. So this is a piece. So you're going to need to make this whole thing that we're going to make. You're going to need one piece of cardstock and maybe a little bit of scraps, but mainly one piece of cardstock. So this is a piece that is 5.5 by 8.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so this is our card base. Then we're going to need a piece that is, and I just want to make sure I tell you the measurements all correctly. This is a piece that is 2 inches by 8.5. All right, and this is scored at 4 1/4. Okay. Then you're going to take the rest of that piece of cardstock, which should be 3.5 inches by 8.5, and you are going to score it at 1 inch. You're going to score it at 3 1/4 inches, 5.5. All right, so 1 inch, 3 1/4, 5.5. All right, that's the next part of our. And then we're going to have, let me tell you the other pieces, and then we're going to assemble it. And it's not really hard, but it's kind of cute. It's a cute little card. So you're going to need a piece that's 4 1/4 by, piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be a layer. Then you're going to need 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 3 1/4. You're going to need a piece of basic white that is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. And then you're going to need another piece of basic white. And this one I did not have cut. And let me see if I have a piece here. I do not. That is 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside of the card. Then you're going to need 2 other pieces. And these are, actually, let me tell you, because I don't know if I wrote these down. This is 4 1/8. 4 1/8 by 1 7/8. And that's a piece of white and a piece of designer series paper. And then you're going to need some just cutouts to decorate. That's what we have. So let's put this together. All right. So we're going to take, this is our card base, and this is going to be one of our layers. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this piece of designer series paper. And we're going to put that right on the front of our card. So I would give this to a book reader, okay? That's, give you a hint. Give this someone who's an avid book reader. Ooh, that was loud. Okay, for this, well, this piece we'll do that last. Then you're going to take this piece here, and we are going to just score these lines. So this one, you're going to just continue to fold left, left to right, until you get to that last score line, and then you're going to accordion fold it back. Okay? So you're going to end up with something that's like this. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we have these 2 panels here, and we are going to take those 2 pieces that we have of designer series paper, and we're just going to layer those right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and adhere those two. Oops. And just put that right there. And then, oops. Oh, okay, I think that's good. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. So this is just going to have a lot of the deer on it. And we're going to put that one right there as well. Okay. This one is just slightly off, but that's all right. Okay, that's all right. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to take this piece of basic white and we're going to put it right here. But I want to stamp a greeting on it first. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I already cleaned this stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and take some garden green and I'm going to stamp that right. Actually, I think I'll use early espresso instead. And I'm just going to stamp this greeting inside. Now, I want to show you the card's going to go like this. So I don't want my greeting, oops, upside down. I don't really want my greeting sticking out of this piece of paper, right? So it's going to be a little bit I guess, to the left here when I pop it on here. So I want, because I don't want it to be seen until somebody opens the card. So I'm just going to double check before I adhere it down. Yep. So there we go. Can you guys, oops, sorry, off camera. So there you go. I'm just going to make sure that I get that maybe a little bit more over to the left than the right. Okay. And let's clean this little guy up here. All right. So now we'll adhere this piece in. Our dog is playing with her little toys out there. So that's kind of funny. So I don't know if you guys can hear the squeaking toys. I'm just going to double check again. Yep. So just to make sure that I'm not going to. Okay, good. Because I want to get that over just a tad bit more. All right. So there we go. This part's going to fold like this. Now on the inside here, I am going to take a couple mini dimensionals and I'm going to put them along this edge right here. So only just a couple. But I'm going to put 3 right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put adhesive here and I'm going to fold that over. So we're basically creating a pocket is what we're doing. And these little guys become stoppers. So I'm going to add some adhesive there. There we go. And I think I took all those off. Move this over. I'm going to now just fold this right over like that. And that is going to give me a nice pocket. And there we go. So that's what we have so far. Oops, sorry. This is what we have so far. We have this little pocket here that is now adhered at the bottom. And we have this nice little thing. So we're going to set that off to the side. And now we're going to work on this piece here. Now this is going to become a bookmark. So what we're going to do is I have these magnets. Have you guys seen these? You can buy them on Amazon. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I would not do this if you're giving this card to anyone that puts things in their mouth. All right, just as a little safety thing. All right, so I'm going to take off 2 of these magnets right here, and I'm going to lay them down and let them kind of go together. So that way I know basically what side they're going to adhere to. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take, just make sure, yep. So I'm going to take one of them right here, and I'm going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to put a glue dot underneath this magnet. Oops. Here's, you guys, I haven't taken the paper off there in a while. Now, this part is a little optional. All right, I just want to say that. You don't have to do this piece of our card. Now this I'm leaving intentionally blank. This is where you would write a message of some sort, okay? So, but I'm going to go ahead and take this now, and I'm just going to fill it with some adhesive, and I'm going to lay it right over top of the magnet and just center it around each piece here. And then I'm just going to take my fingers here and go all the way around it. All right. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take the front of our piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to lay this down because I need to find out where that other magnet is, okay? And it's right there. Can you guys see? It just kind of lands right where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to take this magnet again, and I'm going to put a glue dot on it, and then I'm going to let it kind of lay where it goes, which is right there. And now I'm going to take my piece of cardstock here, or my piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to put this all on the top here. And again, I'm going to just press it down, and I'm going to want to make sure, because that little bubble there, make sure I didn't get more than one. So I'm going to lay it down this way, and that way I can make sure I get it nice and flat. Those feel pretty, yeah, they're pretty flat too. Okay. So now you'll see it snaps together, right? How cool is that? Now, remember those pieces of deer that I showed you, the dies? These are the 3 pieces. You get 3. Well, we are going to layer those to make a little deer head. So what you do is you put your darkest piece in the back, and then you're going to layer it. So this is early espresso, this is pumpkin pie, and then this is crumb cake. And look, you guys, it looks like a real deer. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you could use your blending brush to make it look even more real. We're not going to kind of get into that much, but I'm just going to put some adhesive on this part here, and I'm going to attach it to this part of the deer. Oops. Got a little carried away there. So I'll have to get that off. It does dry clear. Okay, now we're going to take the back of this piece, and we're going to add... Do you guys know where I'm going with this yet? Probably. Then we're going to put this piece here, and now we have a little antler. I know, so cute, so cute. Okay. And like I said, if you wanted to make it look more real, you could put some, take your blending brushes and kind of, or even your Stampin' Blends markers, and go on the edges of them just to kind of give it some shading. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to put it right here. We're going to put it right here at the top of our bookmark. So I'm going to add some adhesive back here, and I'm going to put that right on the front. Now, when I do that, I just want to double check something here. I'm going to go down, and all I'm doing is making sure that it's at 5.5. So I'm going to go down just a little bit more, because what I don't want to happen is that it doesn't fit then in my card. okay? So you got to remember that you need it to go down so it can fit inside of your card. Or your card can fit inside your envelope. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to take our bookmark, and guess where it goes? It's going to go right inside that little pocket that we created. And then this is going to go right here on the outside of our card. Like that. Yay. Now, the little ears here, it looks like they are going to have to go down just a tad bit more. So I might want to be careful here. I'm going to put a little bit more. No one's going to see that, right? Oopsie. I think I went a little too down. There we go. We're going to go down a little bit further. And the only reason is because, again, I don't want the whole card to have to go. Let's go just so its head's just slightly up. There we go. Oops. Let me grab just a quick little wipe here. Okay. So now, there we go. So now our little card opens up. This, just want to make sure it's nice and tight on there. Stick him in there. There you go. This can go on the front and it will fit inside of an envelope like that. And then somebody can open up this and then they will open up this. I got to get the piece of white in here. So we'll do that next. So now I'm going to take the back of this part here. Now, if you guys wanted that bookmark, you don't have to create something that sticks out quite so much. But because I did the little antlers there, I'm going to put this pocket down a little bit lower. But this, I think this card has so much, it's so fun. I think it's so fun. Okay, so let me go ahead and take this piece here. I think this is like 4 by 5. Yeah. You know what? We'll just put this piece in. I have it sitting right here. So we'll take this piece and we'll add this to the center of our card. And let's go ahead and stamp the tree. And it's kind of my go-to here, right? And we'll stamp it in garden green. Okay, so we'll just take this and stamp it right there on our card piece. It's perfect. You know, it reminds me of a little bit of a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Okay, I'm going to just look at this too. Yep, okay, it's good. Looks like it was just slightly bigger. All right, and I'm going to line that up to have little borders on both sides. I used to always think, oh, every card, you know, it had to have the 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And, you know, you guys can make the inside whatever you want. I think we've kind of gone through that before, but all right, there we go. That is our card. So it opens up here, this little guy, he comes out. So now you can stick it in a book and this will, let me just show you. So this will just clamp down on the pages. So you can make it whatever you want. You could do flowers if you wanted to make it something more kind of all year round, but that is it. And then it has just this little pouch. But the nice thing is, even when someone takes the bookmark out, you have this beautiful card that could still be kind of displayed. So I hope you guys liked this project. I think we could probably add a few dimensionals as well on here. There's one of those actually. Oh, yeah, we're not quite done. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Because we're going to put something right here as kind of our focal point. So let's do that real quickly. We're going to have this, a wreath, and this little bow. And it's just going to kind of sit right here. Going to sit right there. And yeah, I think we'll do, yeah, we're just going to do the wreath. And I have some red embellishments here, and I thought this is perfect. This is what we'll use. We're just going to take some of these and put some on here, and this will be kind of our sparkle for our card. So we'll just take a few of these like that. And now we're going to adhere this ribbon right to the top. There we go. And then we are going to adhere this right to the center of this circle. This is those nature circles that I think I told you guys about before here. And we'll just plop that right in the center. And now we're just going to adhere this right here. And that's just going to give us a little bit more of a focal point. So I'm only going to put adhesive on half of this. And then that's going to sit right here. And there we have it. All right, you guys, I hope you loved this project as much as I did. I thought it was super fun. So you'll have to let me know if you've ever seen it before, so I don't take credit for something that is already out there like 100 times, right? Okay, so here we go. So that's our first project, or our last one. And then here we have two more. That's our oops, sorry. That's this one. Here we go. And then this is our box that we made. So again, I just want to give Rhonda Wade credit for this. She's the one that came up with it. She did include a really nice tags label that we can put on it. But I have it. I just didn't put it on there. All right, you guys, those are our 3 projects. We are done with the reindeer set, and we will start on our next set next Friday. So thanks, you guys. Thank you, Zainab, for joining. Thanks, Amy. All right. Bye, guys. See you later.